Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Unhindered Phase. Today, we're going to dive into one of the most powerful but often overlooked aspects of leadership, and that's empowering others. So, let me ask you this question. What if the greatest measure of your leadership isn't what you accomplish, but who you empower? I think so often we think great leaders accomplish great things, but really, great leaders I think are the ones that empower others to do great things. I think about incredible people that we talk about in history. Martin Luther King Jr. Think about those that empowered him to be who we know as who he is, or Billy Graham, who was the one that mentored him and empowered him to be one of the greatest preachers, evangelists to reach the world in our generation, in our lifetime. So ask yourself, what if the greatest measure of your leadership isn't what you accomplish, but who you empower? Ephesians 4:12 actually talks about this when it says to equip his people for works of service so that the body of Christ may be built up. This verse shows us the heart of God's leadership plan, which is equipping others. Jesus demonstrated that when he called the 12 and walked with them for 3 years of his ministry here on this earth and empowered them to start the church. Leadership isn't about gathering followers, it's about building leaders. A lot of times we talk about how Jesus talked to the multitude. He used parables all the time. But if you really think about his teaching, it was to his disciples and empowering them, equipping them for what was to come. So here's the truth. Great leaders see value in others. John Maxwell's new book, Jesus, the High Road Leadership, really dives into how Jesus sees value in others. And so because of that, even greater leaders like Jesus added value to others. Jesus always was pouring into those that cultures dismissed. We see that Jesus really focused a lot on women and children and the downcast and those that culture today would ostracize, or not today, but back then ostracized or would look down on. And Jesus really focused on people like that because he saw value in them and he added value in them. So when we empower others, we're not just delegating tasks. It's not about our agenda. It's not about our to-do list that needs to be checked off. When we delegate, when we empower others, we're not delegating tasks. We're calling out their God-given potential. True empowerment is helping others see what God sees in them. And that is our responsibility as leaders. So ask yourself, who around you needs encouragement? Who today or this week needs encouragement from you? That is the first start of seeing value and adding value in others. Who has a gift but hasn't had a chance to use it? I think about one of my pastors when I was in Bible school, just gave a group of us college students and said, whatever you're learning in class, you have our church to make the mistakes in. And he empowered us to thrive, to grow, to make mistakes, and had the freedom to make mistakes as long as we were learning from it. And I will never forget that foundation of leadership. Or one of my youth pastors when I was in youth, we were losing our worship leader, and I was just a singer on the youth worship team. And he goes, "Hey, in 2 weeks, you have 2 weeks, and you're to put a group together, and you're going to start leading worship in youth." I had no clue what I was doing, but there was a leader that saw something in me and empowered me and equipped me. He saw value. And so, who has a gift but hasn't had a chance to use it? And then here's the third question. Who needs someone to say, "I believe in you"? I believe in you. Maybe you're watching this now and you just need to hear those words that someone like me, the reason why I am doing this video, I'm making this right now, is because I believe whoever is watching this, I believe in you and the potential that God has created you to walk with in leadership. So who needs someone to say, "I believe in you"? When we help others discover their purpose, we're aligning with God's vision. We shift from success to significance. So here's a couple of applications that you could apply uh, through this week in empowering others, even today. One, identify the potential in someone. Identify the potential in someone. Two, speak life. Encourage them with truth and love. Truth, honesty, but do it with love. Three, equip with opportunities, resources, and support. Find ways that you could use somebody. Maybe it's the small steps. I know of some churches, the very first thing when someone wants to volunteer in a church and be involved in a church, their very first strategy is, here's the door, you're a greeter. That's where you start. My father-in-law, he would put teenagers that wanted to be involved in ministry or had a call on their life. He would say, you know what? The first place you could start is being a Sunday school teacher in a kids class, and that's where they started. So, where is an area that you could equip and provide an opportunity for someone to thrive in? So, equip them opportunities, resources, and support. And number four, walk with them. A lot of times we release and we forget, but we need to walk with them. Empowerment is not a moment, it's a journey. So if you're going to see value and add value, just know that it's not a one-time gig. This is a lifetime opportunity to walk with someone through their journey. Some of my greatest relationships, my best friends in life, have been formed with just walking life with them. And one of my best friends was a couple of my best friends have been students in my youth ministry that now are in ministry, and I'm walking life with them. And it's more than just me pouring into them, they're pouring into me. And we're walking a life journey together. So empowering others is not about control, it's about release. Say it with me, release. We don't control people. God is the one who changes. God's the one who empowers and equips. God uses us, though, to encourage and release. So when you raise up other people, you're building something that lasts longer than yourself. And that's legacy. That's leadership. Remember, you're not just a leader, you're a multiplier. So what if the greatest measure of your leadership isn't what you accomplish, but it's who you empower? Thank you for joining me this week with Unhindered Faith. Remember, we serve a God that's not hindered by our life situations, and that's why we can walk with unhindered faith.